Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tessie and today we are going to be recreating this style. It's a very simple DIY. If you're new to the channel, you're welcome. If you're here to subscribe, kindly do that and let's get right into the video. So I'm going to be making use of this Ankara print. So we'll be cutting out the back pattern first. So I folded my fabric into two. Now to know the amount of fabric to cut out, you need your bust measurement divided by 4, then you add extra 2 or 3 inches to it. So after folding my fabric, I'm just going to be chalking the starting point. After chalking the starting point, I'll take my shoulder measurement divided by 2. The shoulder divided by 2 will give me 7.5. Then from that point, I'll come down to my armhole line, which is 9. Then I'll connect my lines together. After connecting my lines, I'll be chalking from the shoulder to the half length. So from my shoulder to my half length is 15 and a half, but I added half inch for joining allowance, which is 16 inches. Then what I'll do next is to place my neckline. I'm using 3 inches by 2.5. Then I'll connect my lines together. After connecting my lines together, I'll be coming down at the shoulder area by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. Then I'll connect it to the neckline. Then I'll check what I have at the armhole area. I'll divide it into 2, which is 4. Then at the chest line, I'll place my bust measurement divided by 4. Then I'll be adding extra 2 inches for my sewing allowance. At the half length, I'll place my waist measurement divided by 4 and also add 2 inches for my sewing allowance. I'll connect my lines together and then curve out my back armhole. So after doing that, we're good to go with the back. I'll go ahead now to cut it out. So guys, what we'll do next is to cut out the front. So for the front, we're going to be making use of this print. You can see it on the screen that it's a different print. Normally, we're supposed to fold this and then cut out. But since it's a different print on the front, I'm just going to place the two fabric together this way. So you place them this way. Make sure you're placing the right side facing each other. So make sure you're placing your fabric right side facing each other. After doing that, I'm going to be chalking 6.5 inches all the way down. So you can choose to chalk 6 inches, 5 inches. It depends on how covered you want the wrap to be. So at this point, I chalked 6.5 inches, but later reduced it to 5.5. So after chalking my lines, I connected it together. Then I'm just going to place the back after the line. So just place the back after the line. After placing your back after the line, go ahead to cut it out.
You say it's hard to tell just what I'm thinking. You think it's hard to see behind
So
my.
what I'll be doing next is chalking out my neckline for the front. So I'll just trace out the back neckline at this point, and then from the shoulder I'll come down by 9 inches. So from the shoulder I came down to 9 inches, and then at the down part I'll be coming up by 2.5. So I'll come up here by 2.5 inches. So guys, what I'll be doing next is connecting my dot together. So from the neckline, I'll connect to the 9 inches and then connect to the 2.5 inches. So I'll use my ruler to do that and then blend the lines, and then I'll be cutting it out. So guys, after cutting out my fabric, once I open it up, this is what it looks like. As you can see, for the front, then for the back, this is it. I'm just going to be placing them together this way. So once you place them together, it should be looking this way. So you place the other one. So what I'll do is to cut out lining piece for each of them. So I've gone ahead to cut out my lining piece, and this is what it looks like. So we're going to be attaching it on the fabric. But before stitching, I'm going to be cutting out my band. So I've gone ahead to cut out a long band, and what I have here is 45 inches long and the width is 5 inches. So what I'll do is to turn it. So I'm just going to place it this way, fold it together, stitch using half inch all the way down, and then do the same thing for this part as well. So after stitching, this is what it looks like, as you can see. So I'm just going to be attaching the band on the fabric. So I'll attach, leaving half inch at the down part for joining allowance. I'll do the same thing here. I'll attach it to the fabric, then we'll stitch and leave half inch. After doing that, I'll place my lining piece on top of the main fabric. So you place your lining piece this way and then stitch the neckline and the side, and also do the same thing for the other part as well. So guys, for the back, I'm also going to be turning my back using my lining. I'll place the lining, then turn the neckline and also the sides. Then I'll flip it to the right side. After doing that, this is what it looks like. As you can see, I've also turned out the back, and this is what it looks like. So we'll be cutting out the down part, then we'll be cutting out the back first. So for the back, I cut out 1 yard of fabric and I folded my fabric into a triangle. So go ahead, fold your fabric into a triangle this way. After doing that, I'm going to be chalking my waist measurement plus 2 inches for my sewing allowance. Then divide whatever you have by 4. So the waist is 28 plus 2 inches, which is 30, divided by 4 will give me 7.5. So what I need to chalk out here is 7.5. So I place my tape from the center front and then look for wherever I have 7.5. So I'm just going to place my tape and chalk out the 7.5. After chalking out the line, I cross-checked and realized it was more than 7.5. So I had to re-chalk another line to get my 7.5. Hope we understand. So guys, after placing my tape, you can see that I have my 7.5 inches. So what I'll be doing next is taking the length of the dress. So I'm going to be taking out my half length. So I took my half length out and then chalked out the length that I want the dress to be. So I want it to be 40 inches. I added extra 1 inch for seam allowance, so 41. So I'm sorry my camera didn't show how I rotated my tape, but I have several videos on how to achieve this. So after chalking out the length of my dress, I connected the lines together, as you can see, and then after connecting, I went ahead to cut them out. So now we're going to be cutting out the front. For the front, we are not going to be cutting on fold. We're just going to be cutting one pieces using this fabric and cutting the other one using the other fabric. Hope you understand. So I'm just going to place the back on the front this way. Then from this center front, I'm going to be chalking 5.5 inches. You know, when drafting the half length for the front, I used 5.5 inches. So at this point as well, I'm going to be chalking 5.5 inches all the way down. So go ahead, chalk 5.5 inches all the way down. After chalking my 5.5 inches, I'm just going to connect my lines together. So I'll connect all the lines together. So just watch what I'm doing. So after connecting my lines, I'll go ahead now to cut out my fabric. So guys, as you can see, we've cut out one part of the front. Now I'm going to be cutting out the other part of the front using the other fabric. So I'm just going to open up my fabric this way as well and then place the front on it, right side facing each other. Make sure you're placing the right side facing each other. Then after placing it, I'll go ahead to cut it out. So guys, you can see that we have two pieces for the front. So this is what it looks like. I'll be attaching pocket to it. So I'm just going to place the back on the front, and then at the side, I'll come down at the waist by 1 inch and then come down to like 7 inches. That's where my pocket will stop. So what I'll do is to notch my lines. So I came down by 1 inch and I'm going to be notching this point and also notch where I want my pocket to stop. So I'll go ahead now to cut out my pocket. So I've cut out my pocket, and what I had here was 7 inches by 10. So I had 4 pieces, as you can see. So I'll go ahead now to attach my pieces to my fabric. So at the notch part, I'm just going to attach the pocket to the notch part. Place it this way, double stitch, and then stitch it all the way down. You do the same thing for this part. Place it at the notch part and stitch. After doing that, I'll do the same thing for the back as well. I'll open it up, and at the notch part, I'll place my pocket at that point and then stitch all the way down. So after doing that, this is what it looks like, as you can see. So I'll go ahead now to place the half length on the down part, then stitch using half inch all the way down, and then do the same thing for this other part as well. Please make sure to fold the sides. I forgot to mention that. So after stitching, I'll do the same thing for the back as well. I'll place the half length on the back, right side facing each other, then stitch using half inch. After doing all of that, this is what it looks like, as you can see. So what I'll do is to join the front and the back together by placing them right side facing each other. So guys, I'm just going to place it this way, pin them down, and repeat same process for the other one. Place them right side facing each other. After doing that, I'll close the shoulder using half inch, shape my dress, and then shape my pocket and also stitch half inch all the way down. I'll repeat same process for this as well. Then I'll quickly go ahead to cut out my sleeve. So you can use any sleeve of your choice. I'm just using a normal basic sleeve. So I'll just fold my fabric and then cut out the second sleeve using the second print. So I'll fold them this way and then cut out the sleeve. So after cutting out my sleeve, I'm just going to notch the middle part of my sleeve and then attach my sleeve to my dress. I'll go ahead now to place them this way and then attach them. So after attaching my sleeve to my dress, this is what it looks like. So now you determine where you want your band to come out from, the right side or the left side. It depends on your preference. So I want mine to come out from this part, so I'm just going to use my seam ripper to open it up a bit. So I'll go ahead now to open that area a bit. After opening that area, I'm going to stitch to secure the part together, and then my band will come out from this area. Hope you understand. So guys, I'll go ahead now to weave the down part, iron, and show us the end result. So guys, this is the end result. This is what the back looks like, and this is what the front looks like. Hope this tutorial was helpful. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, drop a comment, and follow me on Instagram at Sowitess. Love you guys. See you in my next class. Bye.
Secrets, no, 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 no secrets.